All right, guys, how's it going? Well, I'm just back from the cafe. I have been to get the Spanish football dailies for you, and I went to the cafe, and thanks to Watsy, my man, I had this great big fucking bucket. No, I didn't. I didn't have it at all. So yeah, I've been to the cafe and had some coffees, thanks to you guys, and I examined the football dailies for you, the print media, to see if there was anything in them about Trent Alexander-Arnold or anything else to do with Liverpool Football Club. And as you can see, there are no newspapers behind me on my desk, which means there was nothing. All right, so I left them for the owner of the cafe for other people to use those papers. So. If you're new to my channel, you might be thinking right now, let's get this right. You're making a video to say there's no news about Trent Alexander-Arnold. That's correct. And the reason I'm doing that is because certain elements of the media in the United Kingdom, part of the LFC clique, if you like, they want Liverpool fans to think that the newspapers here in Spain are full every day about Trent Alexander-Arnold to Real Madrid, and that's just not the case, right? So each day, for my peoples, that have been around here a long time, I'm saying to them, look, guys, there's fuck all there, right? Now, that doesn't mean that I'm trying to say that there's no interest. Like you might think that I'm going, see, there's no there, there's no there, there's no there, right? So therefore, they're not interested. No, I'm not saying that, right? They're obviously interested. We know they're interested. What I'm trying to do is show you the reality of the extent of the coverage. Now, the papers today, they're all bigging up, the El Clasico tonight, right? So Real Madrid play Barcelona tonight. So all the newspapers, the two Real Madrid papers and the Barcelona newspaper, they're like, intense, like focusing on who's going to win the game, blah, blah, blah. No mention of Trent and no mention of Real Madrid's defensive crisis, which obviously ties into Trent as well, even if they're not, naming him, right? So since Real Madrid won that game in the Champions League earlier in the week, there's been no talk of this defensive crisis, this need for a centre-back and a right-back, which we were seeing every single day up until that game. And as I said a few weeks back, I think that if Real Madrid do okay, up until January, then, I don't think you'll see them flapping too much about strengthening at the back. So I told you to keep an eye on the results, right? So if they lose against Barcelona tonight, mark my words, next week will be dominated about the defensive crisis and it all comes back again. Do you know what I mean? Yeah? You know what I mean, don't you guys? So, no Trent, no Real Madrid crisis at the moment. Massive game tonight. I'd cast your eyes up. If you've never watched one of those games before, because when I was younger, like people say, oh, it's El Clasico tonight. And I'd be like, so fucking well, I'm El Ofio out on the Piscio. Do you know what I mean? But if you've never watched one, watch it. Honestly, cracking, love it. Mint, super, fantastic. I sound like him off Bullseye, don't I? Right. Let's not stop there. Right. So, as well as watching for Trent Alexander-Arnold, Real Madrid, and all that, I keep an eye on the Catalan newspaper, the Barcelona newspaper, to see if they still mention Luis Diaz. They've not mentioned him once since the summer, since I've been getting the papers again, since the post-transfer window closing. I'm just looking at the Cop Talk members website. The fucking screensaver kicked in the minute I said it. 1 second. I'm also keeping an eye in those newspapers for, let me just go to the scouting department, Samu Omorodion, Omorodion, who Liverpool are taking a look at, which is a strange one because he only I think he signed a 5-year contract in August of this year, but the source on it is back, like someone you would trust your life with, you know what I mean? They're adamant that Liverpool are watching him. And also Raul Moro, I would keep a close eye on him. Ironically, he only signed a 4-year contract this summer too. So I'm keeping an eye on those players. I'm obviously looking out for stuff to do with Ubamendi. Nothing today. I think it was yesterday they did a little piece. They were talking about he didn't have a very good game whenever they played the other night. Neither did Cubo, another player linked with Liverpool. So I'm always monitoring all the Liverpool connection stuff. Mamadashvili, Milli Vanilli, at Valencia. Because he's obviously going to be Liverpool's next goalkeeper. I don't know if you saw his comments recently, but he said he's coming to Liverpool to be number one, regardless of whether Alisson's there or not. He said that. Do you know what I mean? Not words to that effect, but no, it was fighting talk. He was like, no, whether the goalkeeper, he didn't say Alisson, he said whether the current goalkeeper leaves or not, I'm going there to be number one, right? So I like that, to be honest. I like that kind of talk. What else is there? I saw one article, nothing to do with Liverpool. A player called, well, he was known as Victor Manuel Fernandez Gutierrez. He retired from the professional game 10 years or so or more. You know, he was a striker. He played for Real Madrid C and B, Tenerife, Valladolid, 133 appearances, Villarreal, 131 appearances, then back to Valladolid, 169 appearances, a couple of clubs after that, one cap with Spain. But he was a big deal. You know, he was a massive player in Spain. And I read this, I don't know if I can, I did take a picture of it actually. I'll show you him. There's a picture of him here. It's nothing to do with Liverpool. You can log off if you want. Basically, and what it's saying there, I worked this, I'm getting fucking good at my Spanish. I'm learning more Spanish now since I'm doing these. So do you see there, it says, cada día me gusta menos el fútbol actual. I'm reading it back to front. This is the wrong way around for me as I'm showing you this. But basically what he's saying, every day I like football less, you know, the top flight football, you know, the big football. And I can relate to that. I talked to you many times about that, you know. And he was obviously a professional footballer, played for years in Spain. And he's saying, every day I'm getting less and less interested in it. He was talking about VAR in the article. His son, I think, is 16. He's called Victor as well. And I think he might be at Levante. So his son is trying to be a footballer, but his dad there, that's senior, if you like, Victor Senior, is saying, every day I'm getting less and less like interest in the top flight football, you know, because of all the changes and just the way it is. I can relate to that. Okay, guys, I'm going to leave it with you. I'm going to do a video about Trent Alexander-Arnold next. If you appreciate this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please drop me a comment. If you want to buy me a beer or a coffee, hit the thanks button under the video. There are other ways to support me in the video description. In the video description is also the newsletter and also the chat room as well, which you can jump in and, you know, on any device. There's all my social media links. Everything you need to know is in the video description. My girlfriend's flying out here today from England, so I'm going to be spending the week with her. So I'm not going to be around as much, I doubt, next week. But I will still be here, hopefully, to do stuff with you. If anything important comes out, I can assure you I'll kick her out of bed and record a video for you. It'd probably be more interesting if I left her in the bed and recorded the video. I might get more views. Yeah, that's it. All right. But next week, every day next week, I still will be going to the garage for the newspapers. Thanks to your support, and I'll be able to get the newspapers each day, get some coffee, you know. I guess I'll have to take her with me, do you know what I mean? But yeah, all right, guys, have a great weekend, and I'll speak to you real soon. All right.